Welcome to our daily reflection for this Wednesday, January 31st. In our first reading, there's an odd incident that causes a judgment from God, and David gives a great confession of sin. And I think a lot of us struggle to understand what was the sin that David did. All he simply did was take a census of his people, and he had all of his people registered, and so he got the number, the total number of all of his people. And of course he does this. And the question is, and Joab administers this, and then David confesses that he's sinned grievously by doing this. Why? Well, when a king and a leader has all of his people register and numbers them, he does that for two purposes. One, for taxation purposes, so he can tax more exactly and take and tribute more money from his people. The second reason he does it is by registering the people, he has an enlistment for the military. And the reason you do that as a king is that you may have a larger army on the ready, and you can do more military aggression. And so usually kings do this to gain more money and to have a larger army, and so that they can take possession of their own people's money and sons, so they can take possession of other people's lands, to grow their kingdom and their glory. And so David is confessing, look, he was probably planning and scheming. He's got secure borders of the promised land, and he has peace. But now he's looking at, well, I'm peaceful here and I got strength. Maybe I should kind of start planning on the next move and how to expand and grow the empire. And then he realizes that this is a sin, that this is selfishness and bad and wrong. And so he repents. And then there's a judgment, and then a plague and a pestilence. And again, David confesses, which is rather striking, that he, as the shepherd of Israel, is the real sinner. And he is at the root of the problem. And so David models for us owning our own sin and confessing it. But also I think in this lesson of the census is that, the desire for gain, to grow one's own influence, one's own power, one's own wealth, that influence, that desire is so subtle and yet so powerful that we may embark on it in many ways in which we don't realize that what we're doing is really, really at root deeply selfish. I'm not saying that all gain comes from selfishness and is bad, but what I'm saying is that the desire to gain anything and everything oftentimes can come out of a simple desire of selfishness. And so we have to ask ourselves, why am I making the pursuits, and why am I pursuing what I'm pursuing? And what is my intention? Is it purity of intention for the sake of the common good, for the sake of God, for the sake of others? Or is it for my own sake? And am I just doing this for selfish ends and purposes? And so today, I think what the Lord is teaching us in the story of David is to have purity of intention, and to make sure that whatever our pursuits are, we pursue out of a purity of intention. And I want to thank everybody who has the purity of intention of supporting us in the Mission Circle. Your support monthly, even at $30 a month, $1 a day, is a great benefit to our mission. And I'm deeply grateful for your support. We've been able to grow the Mission Circle every month, and it helps us in our mission to grow and to meet our cost growths as well. So I'm grateful for you, and for the purity of intention of supporting our mission for the sake of getting the Word of God out to more people. May the Lord bless and keep you all, and for everybody who supports us in any way, thank you.
This daily reflection is brought to you thanks to the generous support of the Mission Circle. Join the Mission Circle to help Catholics worldwide understand, live, and share their faith. Sign up at missioncircle.org today.